We're going to begin with that breaking news from the governor. Michigan's stay-at-home order lifted.
Starting on June 8th, dine-in service can resume at bars and restaurants with some restrictions. Swimming pools and day camps for kids can open that day as well. And starting immediately, groups of 100 people or less can gather with social distancing. And just in, the state phasing in bottle returns on June 15th with limitations and restrictions. Retailers will be allowed to add their own limitations as well. Our coverage begins tonight with 7 investigator Heather CATALLO. And Heather, the governor laying out the next steps in addressing those protests as well.
Yes, she did, Alan and Glenda. The stay-at-home order is lifted, but there are still some restrictions, and many businesses will still have to remain closed.
The data has shown that we're ready to carefully move our state into this next phase.
Governor Gretchen Whitmer announcing today the entire state is moving into phase 4 of her reopening plan as coronavirus case numbers slow down slightly.
On this coming Monday, restaurants can reopen for indoor and outdoor seating so long as tables can be kept 6 feet from one another. That means you must maintain social distancing in these places and wearing your mask and making sure that you continue to do your part. In restaurants, it'll be 50% or less of capacity so long as you're maintaining that 6 feet.
This Thursday, Whitmer says retailers can reopen with capacity limits as long as they follow social distancing rules, and that's not all.
Effective immediately, groups of 100 or less can gather outdoors so long as they maintain strict social distancing. Outdoor fitness classes are permitted so long as participants can remain 6 feet from one another.
The governor also praised those who peacefully protested the police killing of George Floyd and expressed concern about President Trump's comments today during a call with governors.
And it was deeply disturbing. Instead of offering support or leadership to bring down the temperature of protests, the president told governors to put it down or we'd be overridden. He said governors should dominate protesters or you'll look like a bunch of jerks. That's what he said to the nation's governors a couple hours ago. He repeatedly and viciously attacked governors who are doing everything we can to keep the peace while we're working to save lives.
Now, under the new executive order, if you can telecommute or work remotely for your job, that is still required. Hair salons, gyms, indoor theaters, and casinos still have to stay closed under this new order. But the governor says she hopes to change that in about 2 to 3 weeks. Reporting live, I'm Heather CATALLO, 7 Action News. Alan, back to you.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people are excited that the state is starting to reopen again, getting back to some type of normalcy. Heather, thank you for that live report.